everyone. Good morning. Paul Tranny here, saying hello. Hopefully you can hear me okay. You should be able to. Awesome. Annika's here. Yay, Annika's here. So good to have you guys here. Michelle as well. Thank you for you guys being so kind and everything. That's going to be great. Oh, I'm glad you like the opening. It's After Effects. So we're going to dive into this. Everything that's new, guests, news, new creative, community spotlight. Do this over the course of 30 minutes. And yeah, want to welcome you to this wonderful Monday. And let's get this party started if you're ready. I'm so sorry there's like a little bit of flashing with my video that I can't quite figure out yet. All right. Let's do this, everyone. Feel free to say hello. Audio is good. Oh, thank you so much. Awesome. Let's first talk about our guests, shall we? Our wonderful guest this week is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to these awesome people. We have the one and only Andrew Arosina. I'm going to be with him today at, you can see, 9:30 to 11:30. And we're going to do he's going to do some awesome illustration work. He uses Primary Illustrator and about 1,000 vector lines. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Awesome. Welcome. Let's see. Is it General Kenobi? Is that what I saw in here? Sean K. What's up? Rick H. Good to have you here. After that, also you can see Noel Stransky is going to be working on an app, and I'm really sorry about that flashing. I do not know where that flashing is coming from. I think I'm getting a bad cable or something. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so it's some UI, UX design, and I actually want to share with you guys, if I can only open a darn... there we go, finally. It is up. I'm going to share with you guys their work really fast, just so we can be impressed by it. So you don't really need to hear me talking about it. Jessica Kobesi, and then Ooh, that is not right. And then we have someone else. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. Oh, Mondays, here we are. Orlando's work. You can see. So I'm super excited about this. Really cool. Orlando's, actually, where does he... I'm going to find out. He actually lives in Bogota now. I think he was living in the U.S. I think he was in... San Diego, but we're going to hear all about him. And you can see his amazing work right in here. Okay, sort of the, lots of sort of movie art, you could say. But I also want to point out the number of vectors is just kind of insane. So you can see right in here, vector lines overlaid over the final piece. So it's pretty intense what Orlando does. So it's going to be pretty cool. Alrighty, everyone. Next up, we have Noel Stransky. So this is just one of her projects. We can kind of check out her whole portfolio as she dives into some UX, UI design, which will be cool. We have actually we might have an update coming to Adobe XD very soon. Just FYI, I can't talk about it yet, but it's be cool to hear about her being a user experience designer at Riot Games. It's always cool to have cool people doing their best work and everything. Right on. Then you can see Jessica. We're going to dive into some photography. So you can see Jessica Kobesi's work. So she does a lot of fashion and has a couple books out. So you can see, so book 1, book 2. Actually, I don't know 100% what this means. But she categorizes these photos as books, and you can kind of click through them. Obviously high fashion, and it'll be fun to hear her talk about photography, of course. Can you just... yeah, right. Nora, I can't tell you about any of the XD updates. That's when I get in trouble, okay? But she's an American fashion design and portrait photographer based in Detroit, Michigan. She likes cats and Batman. I could see how that works together, right? Both are creeping around at night, scaring ya. No. Cats like to creep around. Batman's always creeping around. I get it. All right, and Rachel Roth, that's who I wanted to talk about. So Rachel is actually should be on the slide, but is a graphic designer doing art direction. I'm sorry that image did not update for some reason. But you can see some of Rachel's work, which is going to be pretty cool, diving into sort of more graphic design, layout. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Why don't we do this with our work? Again, very fashion forward here, as I'm seeing. But pretty cool. A lot of InDesign, right? You can see this. Foot traffic. Come on now. Look at just the art direction in these. It's pretty darn cool. So that'll be fun to hear from Rachel. So I'm just hyping these people because it's cool to have such amazing artists and designers with us. Andrew, what's up? Good to see you, Andrew, and Izam as well. Cool. And Junie, awesome. Or good afternoon, good morning, good night. Don't leave me, but if you're having a good night, then that's great. Sanjana, welcome. So just kind of giving you a crash course in all the designers that we have this week. Keep in mind that we also have our daily creative challenges that start this week, encore presentations of those, Illustrator, Photoshop, UX, UI, design. So that's kind of what's going on. So let's dive into some news right now. All right. And we're back. Cool. Good morning, Ryan. Ryan sent me an image. Sorry, I haven't responded to you guys yet. It's been a long weekend. I ran I don't know if I really ran it. I kind of just jogged a half marathon, but it was my first half marathon that I did not prepare for. So just like anything in life, you're going to do better if you prepare. So, of course. Here we go, switching over, best design events in April. Let's kind of take a look at this. The reason I point out design events, you need to kind of do some research, but everybody's been doing conferences online, so you can find a lot of cool content that everybody's publishing out. So I could always paste this link, but this actually already happened, but you could always watch that recording, the Viennese Lettering, a Virtual Night with Paul Shaw. So a lettering event that just happened over the weekend, or actually on Thursday of last week, right? Monotype Creative Characters podcast is going on, so I can go ahead and paste this in chat because I think this is pretty cool how they sort of push this out. And this kind of leads me, where are the Black Designers virtual exhibition, which again is really cool. So literally if you Google this stuff, you'll find a lot of it. But just kind of pointing out that if you take a look at free events out there, conferences, most conferences seem to be free these days. Let me just, boom. There it is, there's the link. Yeah, Viola, I'm ready to see people in real life as well. That would be amazing. I want to move on to my next one really fast, if I could. So again, check out those conferences. We actually just announced this as well. Please sponsor this World Interaction Design Day. It is in September, but let's go ahead and check it out. So let me just switch back over to my screen. So yeah, it's all about sort of creating solidarity and how interaction design improves the human condition. So, so Adobe IXDA, and so you can sign up for that as well. So I think since we just announced it, I was like, hey, you know what? Go ahead and get involved. These are the various community members, as you can see right down here. Koivin, excuse me, of course. Andre J. Messiner from Germany. So World Interaction Design Day. That's not till September, but now you know about it, so that's cool. All right, everybody. Is everybody having a good Monday? I hope so. Sometimes it's hard to stay focused. I know, it is for everybody. You go through phases. I kind of want to just, again, file this under news or random information, but essentially this is something you could try since we're all working from home. And I have not tried this, but it's gotten good reviews basically by people who have done this. So again, we're not sponsored or anything like that, but there's something called Focus Mate. It's distraction-free productivity. So the whole idea here is you literally hop online with someone. It's like a Zoom meeting where you state your goal of what you want to do the next goal or goals that you want to do the next hour. And then you both silently work with your webcam on, your audio off. Right, and then you go ahead and report back at the end of that hour. So I think the concept of this accountability, virtual accountability, is just personally fascinating. Right, we could always use more accountability. You know, we're trust me, we're not that strong. Oh yeah, Annika saw me tweet about this. So yeah, it's, again, just cool to work together. Distraction-free productivity. Try it out. Anyways, so if you want to. Again, not sponsored or anything, but since we're all kind of working from home, might be a good thing to give it a whirl. You would have, Sean, you would have to put on a shirt. Yes. All right. Froja's in the house. Cool, everyone. Fantastic. And since we have finished up basically a daily creative challenge, then let's kind of focus on somebody who's done pretty well in it. So let's launch into Community Spotlight. All right, welcome back. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Cecilia. So Cecilia, I don't know if she is here, but she's been doing a great job with sort of doing a lot of the challenges and doing a really good job with them. So I just wanted to highlight community member Cecilia. I don't even know if she's online right now, but she's been doing the challenges, and I think that's pretty cool. Vikram, can you come to my home for a weekend? Absolutely. No, sorry. All right. I'm all for accountability. So let's be accountable to one another. Cecilia did such a good job. So let's take a look at some of her work. Photo filter challenge. Boom. Done. Right. Look at this. Gorgeous. Right. You could easily do overkill with the using the neural filters. She did a great job. We'll scroll up. We can see this one. Sort of merge images challenge. I like how she put in that soft, nice background. Works out really well. So Cecilia's crushing it. So might not even be here, and that's okay. Yeah, usually I'm too much to work with, guys. I'll tell you that right now, because I'm just too excited about most things. Although I'm really tired because of my half marathon. Hey, did everybody hear I did a half marathon? I'll stop. Okay, I'm just really sore. So again, you can kind of peruse all of, look at this. This is fun. This challenge number 2, X-Man X. That's hilarious, by the way. Anyways, just wanted to highlight Cecilia and all you awesome people that I consider my friends and coworkers, because really we are working together. We're learning together, and I just really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. Yeah, lots of cool work coming from the DCC. I just highlighted the Photoshop ones. Obviously, there's the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenges and the XD ones. Again, since I just hosted the Photoshop ones, that's why it's kind of top of mind for me. So let's kind of move on, if I can. And some of this got moved over. Don't mind me. I'm just going to fix some of this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's kind of talk about. It's only a half marathon. It's not a full marathon. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's not that great. It's like not that big of a deal. But it still hurts, and it's still the farthest I've ever run in my life, so that's good. Sorry I don't have her Behance link, and I should probably get that. All right. I know people also like free stuff, so I wanted to kind of outline this list that keeps getting longer and longer. In fact, my head's getting in the way. Looking ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Let's move on over. And Move myself over a little bit more. All these free resources that constantly sites push out, and it's awesome. So let's kind of talk about some of them, and actually I could show you some of them if I can just pull them up, right? And free resources under Creative Cloud. So let's take a look at this. There we go. Boom. We're going to visit a couple of these really fast, if you guys don't mind. Everybody likes free stuff. And let me go ahead and share my screen. I like this. So we have sort of illustrations. This site, We Are Scribble, illustrations for everyone. A growing collection of free hand-drawn illustrations brought to you by a global community. So you'd use this more for honestly, you could use it as a reference, but also for UX UI design. So you get these ping illustrations, right? So again, hands are the hardest things to draw. You can see who created it, their style, and how well it's done. Look at that. Don't pass this off as your own, but man, hands are tough. And look at this. How cool is that? Download them all. You're good to go. So wearescribble.com, and now you guys know. Just giving you free resources. And give them props, of course. They spent a lot of time and, hard work creating this stuff, so that's cool. Also, so sorry, let's... There we go. Free resources and Creative Cloud as well. So we click on that. It's available. So creativecloud.adobe.com, discover free resources. Jump in here, obviously. You can see free resources, sort by a category. Obviously, we have seamless patterns that you can integrate. And yeah, check it out. There you have it. Free stuff, free stuff. Look at this. Oh, this is so good, by the way. How they kind of click through, because usually when you download something that you did not create, maybe it's a PSD or some Illustrator file, here they're kind of showing how it's put together, right? So you can see all sort of the berries on different layers. So they kind of walk through how to sort of pick it apart and customize it yourself, which I think is pretty cool. This is using the new pattern maker, essentially, for the new pattern preview feature in Photoshop. So that's pretty sweet. What's up, Michelle? If you guys are new here, I want to welcome you as well. General Kenobi, hello. Richard Bradley, thank you so much. When you modify a freebie, how do you credit the original owner? I would say wherever you post it, just you tag them. If you post it Instagram, like tag them. And make sure, just because it says free, like still go through any terms and conditions or anything like that, because it might be free for personal use and not for sort of business use. So keep in mind the site's own policies around that. Cool, cool. Let's move on. All right. And let me make sure I covered all the free stuff. I think I have. Hopefully you have some free resources. Feel free to share them. Like, I'm not the gatekeeper of all knowledge. I know this. I learned so much from you guys. So feel free to post in your favorite resources. Maybe not necessarily links. If you can't, that's okay. But let me know what resources you like. I know I personally, excuse me, like using the plugins panel, as you can see right up here. And this kind of dovetails right into sort of Q&A for today. But in Photoshop, excuse me, there's a plugins panel that you could open up. You could browse those plugins, but I use this free stock search, right? It's like, okay, I'll jump in here. I need an astronaut because I'm going to make an NFT. And like, hey, if you're doing an NFT, you need an astronaut. Okay, there's my astronaut. Oh, here's another astronaut. Look at that one, right? Oh, I'm going to make an NFT. Let's go ahead and put an astronaut in my design, like, because it's so original. Oh, ouch. It's being I'm being salty. That was not called for. Anyways, so let's, excuse me, let's move on. And let me share my screen. We'll dive into Q&A too, all right? Welcome, everyone. Give me a second to open this up. Instagram is free resources. So this is why I like NFTs, because you know what we're talking about? We're talking about ownership, how you could actually own the original of something. Before the NFTs, I feel like everybody's like, they're basically like, hey, everything's free, right? And now all of a sudden we're talking about, oh, wait, somebody made this? Who are these people? All right. Let's dive into this now. Thanks for your patience. I did that first astronaut. Did you do it? Diane? Sometimes I just read chat and I'm like, I don't know when people are making jokes or not. Oh, wait. Astronaut illustration with logo. Diane, maybe you did. I don't know. We'll take a look. All right. So a couple different ways to get your questions answered. Obviously, get involved in Discord, as you can see right over here. Scroll down, you can see ask a question right in here. This is usually where you get your questions answered, right? But also, if we take this, let's take a look at how to close. I'm not sure what Mammy is asking here, but I want to... yeah, gada. That's the stuff we were working on last week. I'm still working on. It never ends. But let's take a look at this. How to kind of close the lines, or how to balance out lines. You have this lovely rectangle, okay? Isn't going to have anything in it. It's going to have a white stroke, okay? Crank this up a lot. You go in and you make it a dashed line. So a couple different ways to do that. I'll just close these panels because you can go to your appearance panel. You have your stroke right here, and then it's a dashed line, right? I don't know what they're trying to do exactly, but it's this little button right here. And let's really space this out. Let's make the dash like 30 or even higher than that. Oops, click on the word stroke, 50. See what's happening is these, the corners are looking funny, right? So that looks funny. This side just isn't all lined up. Well, we can make them lined up. You click stroke, right over here, it's this button. Let's go ahead and balance out the corners. Click right there, now we have the corners balanced out, okay? So hopefully that helps. Again, just picked a question sort of at the top of the pile, if you will, and you can see how easy that was, right? Pretty straightforward. And don't forget about community.adobe.com. You can jump in here. And for me, what I do is I go in and view the latest unresolved. And again, there's featured stuff. Custom is grayed out at text transform. Probably a lot to read here. Might not be able to get to it. Yeah, I'd have to take a longer look at that. So you guys get the idea. I'm actually down to my last like minute, but you guys get the idea. I noticed the biggest problem like around paths in Photoshop, by the way, because paths, as you work on them in Photoshop, you know, even if you're using a pen or whatever, right? Sometimes people will have these settings kind of mixed up. So you can see obviously I have the stroke, but they might have this set up to path. So they don't see anything. They want an actual shape, but they have switched it to path. So just be mindful of that and be mindful of your last settings, right? So again, jump in here, change these properties. And by the way, before you even start drawing, you can go up here and just check it. So that's the biggest issue I've seen people have. And just having this tool kind of mixed up, like combine shapes or something else, subtract from front, also might be an issue. The nice thing is all you need to do is go up here and hit Reset Tool. So if things have gotten crazy and you've really modified it, right-click Reset Tool. It will reset everything back to the way it was in case you messed with it a lot. So that's kind of my pro tip for you. It should be really helpful for you. But I want to say thank you for hanging out with me today. We have, of course, our Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge kicks off with some amateur guy. I don't know who he is. Some hack, Paul. Anyways, it's going to be really good. I think the past 2 weeks have been my best 2 weeks. So we're doing an encore of that, as well as the Illustrated Daily Creative Challenge. So we have Orlando up next after that. And Julia Masalska does the Illustrated Daily Creative Challenge. Noel Stransky comes up with little UX UI, and then Daily Creative Challenge this afternoon as well. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you in a bit.